Parashat Kedoshim. In Parashat Kedoshim, we have over 50 mitzvot. A lot of them speak about a man and his fellow, between people. One of the mitzvot is saying, the Torah writes, "Hocheach tochiach et amitecha," you shall rebuke your friend, your fellow, ve'lo tisa alav het, so you shall not bury a sin on him or because of him. Basically, the explanation is, the Torah is telling us you are responsible for each other, and therefore if someone is doing the wrong thing, you have to rebuke him and tell him that this is not right. And of course there is a way to do it. And when you learn the halakha about it, it depends if the wrong thing that someone else, first of all, we have to give the benefit of the doubt, and we have to ask. You see somebody using his phone on Shabbat. He might even do it inside the synagogue. Maybe he's a doctor, so you have to ask, because why you use your phone on Shabbat? But the guy's a doctor. He's on duty, or he's on a call. Maybe he's working for Hatzalah or something like that. So first of all, we have to find out. After we find out and we know that something is wrong, tell them, listen, this is not acceptable. And there is a way to do it. Now the halakha brings differences between times and our time to back in the day, different places. Also, if the crime is from the Torah or from the rabbis, there are differences. But we will talk about mainly about the way to do it. And Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon says in the pasuk, Al tochach letz pen yisna'eka hochach lehacham ve'yaveka. Do not rebuke a letz. A letz is someone that likes to make joke, like a very jokey person. Don't rebuke him, because he's going to hate you. He's not interested in listening, and whoever will come and tell him something will just cause like a fight and hatred. So Shlomo HaMelech says, don't rebuke him. Rebuke a wise person, and he shall thank you. He's going to develop love towards you because you opened his eyes. So now, of course, we have to do it nicely, as we said, because if it's not being done nicely, even a wise man many times will reject. So, but now let's ask a question. Shlomo HaMelech knows that the Torah says that we have to rebuke each other. And so why does he make, the Torah did not say, do not rebuke a jokey person versus a wise person. It says you got to rebuke, you got to do what you got to do. What the other person will do, that's not up to the person that he's doing what the Torah tells him. So if I'm supposed to rebuke somebody else, why do I have to refrain if he's a jokey person and go on with the rebuke if he's a wise man? How can Shlomo HaMelech make divisions between a jokey? The Torah says rebuke everybody. So of course Shlomo HaMelech is not writing something against the Torah. So there is a beautiful explanation to that. Of course the pshat, like the simple explanation, is what Shlomo HaMelech is saying: whenever you don't have to and you know it's a jokey person, just don't go for it, because it's not going to help. This is just wisdom. He's sharing with us with wisdom. But do not be scared to rebuke a wise man nicely, because the opposite is going to love you. So we asked one question, and then the second question: how am I going to know if it's a jokey person or is a wise person? Sometimes I could, sometimes I'm not. So every time I have to find out. So we'll bring a beautiful explanation that will answer both questions. So Shlomo HaMelech is actually telling us, he's speaking about the same person that we want to rebuke. And Shlomo HaMelech says, if you are going to him and telling him, hey, you're not a good person, how come you're doing this? This is not right, you're so wrong. So you make him into a jokey, cheap person, that will develop hatred. If you are telling him that he's not a good person, that will develop hatred. But if you are going to a person, you tell him you're wise, I see you, I'm impressed with, you're a good man, I know you like to do good things to others, and so on and so forth. You elevate him, you make him wise, then he is going to listen and develop love towards the person. So again, the Torah says rebuke everybody. Comes Shlomo HaMelech and tells you, yes, rebuke them But when you go to rebuke a person, make sure to give him compliments along with the rebuke, and then the person will listen. That applies also in our family, between a man and his wife and her husband, with the kids also. It says that the rabbis are saying whenever you point a finger, you're supposed to count 4 compliments on 1 rebuke to the child. So B'ezrat Hashem, we should all do it. We are the one to gain first. We're going to increase love. We're going to be loved. We all want to be loved. And at the end of the day, we are listening to the Torah that tells us what to do, and we are making a mitzvah by doing it, and we are doing it in a beautiful way and helping the other person. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.